Hello, you beautiful heart and soul. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be covering productivity tips to help improve your performance in business, in your career, while living with a chronic health condition or managing chronic symptoms. My name is Alexis Ray, and I am an entrepreneur and construction professional who has over 10 years experience adapting to chronic health conditions and symptoms, which is basically how I've learned all of these productivity tips. So, first and foremost, energy management. You may have heard of the spoonie theory or the spoons theory. This theory came about as a way to be able to explain what it's like to be living with a chronic health condition and having a lower amount of energy to be applied to your same activities, same areas of your life. Basically, your energetic tank is already starting out at a lower baseline than what it used to be starting out with. And the equivalent of that energetic tank is the number of spoons that you have every single day. In addition to having a lower tank of energy, you also have to expend more energy to do the types of actions that used to be fairly routine, which brings us to energy management. So, if you are living with a chronic health condition, if you are managing chronic symptoms or recovering from a brain injury, learning to manage your energy is going to be one of the best ways to be able to hijack your productivity. Because when you learn how to manage your own energy tank and the amount of energy that you expend in order to perform your daily tasks on a day-to-day basis, eventually you're going to be able to raise your energy thresholds slowly but surely by stretching those boundaries and getting to really push those thresholds. But before you can push, you have to learn how to pace. So pacing yourself, managing your energy is the first productivity hack when it comes to this, because the other most important key is to bring yourself up to the point where you're like, man, I feel like I'm pushing myself, but you don't want to trigger your symptoms. You don't want to cause a symptom flare by pushing too hard. So you have to find that fine line, that flow in your own energy and your own productivity as to how much you can handle. And then when your body starts giving you signals like, hey, I think you're pushing a little too hard, that's when you back off and rest. That's when you take a step back. And that's really how you start to find your own balance for your energy management. That's step number one. That's tip number one. The second tip I want to share with you is to get everything from your brain that you are trying to keep in order into some type of document, into some type of software, into whatever system or method for tracking works for you. It is a lot to keep it all in order. The kids have to go to school at this time. I need to pick up the broken violin from the music teacher. The dog has to go to get groomed, plus the job and everything else that you're keeping organized. I'm actually not a mom, so I think it's kind of funny that I keep using mom examples, but you know what I mean. Basically, you have a lot rattling around in your brain that you're already trying to keep track of. And when you're managing your symptoms, it's just another layer that you're trying to overcome. And I know it's exhausting. So the best thing you can do is to utilize some type of tool to get all of that out onto paper. You don't have to keep track of it just with your memory. You don't have to remember it the same way that you always have. So whether it's creating a list and you keep a day planner and you write down everything in that day planner and that just goes with you everywhere. That's literally what I did after my most severe concussions in 2011 and 2012. I got like a, I don't know, like 5x8 maybe day planner that I just kept everything in. Like I kept to-do list items in, I kept appointments in. The reason I liked writing it, one, was because at the time I had a hard time being in front of screens, so I couldn't even really use technology as a tool at that point in time. And two, writing it also helped me remember it. So that's an association between writing and your own memory and retention. It's just another tip or trick to use. So write everything down, get it into some type of tracking software so you can keep track of your tasks. Just stop depending on your memory alone. The third thing that is going to make your productivity the best performing productivity you can while living with a chronic health condition, overcoming symptoms, adapting to life because of a new normal from some health issue, is to be flexible. At this point in time, you probably know that nothing really ever goes according to plan. So you have to plan for it not to go according to plan, and know that with this to-do list you just wrote down in, a day timer, or the list that you have in the Google Calendar, or the events and meetings that you have coming up for the next week, you now are listening to your body and whatever feedback your body gives you. So you might have that event on your calendar, but your body might have another opinion about what's going to happen that day. You're going to be like, yeah, that Thursday, it's going to be great. I'm going to show up there. I'm going to feel good. And you might wake up Thursday morning and it's just not the day. It is just not the day. So you have to be flexible. And being flexible with yourself, giving yourself permission to make changes to your schedule, realizing that you're going to get to your end result, your end destination, one way or another, but how you get there is going to change. That flexibility is so key. I like to think about it as being rerouted. You're driving down the street, GPS is going, you got Starbucks over there. You're like, not right now, Starbucks. I'm late to this meeting. And then all of a sudden you come up to a construction zone and you have a huge detour. Sure, that detour might be real inconvenient, but you're still going to get to your final destination. That is the approach you have to take to your own flexibility, to your own plan and schedule, to your own mindset and ability of what is going on with your body and the responsibilities that you are juggling at the exact same time. Plan for it not to go according to plan, and be willing to reroute and adjust and find different ways to get there, because that's the only way things are going to keep moving forward. Functionally managing your energy. Writing everything down or getting yourself organized in a way that works for you, so that when you're struggling with brain fog or you're struggling with your symptoms flaring, you don't have to rely on your memory to keep all of those things in order. It's just written down for you. It's super easy. You're good to go. Okay, check. You're staying flexible. You're staying open and okay, and realizing that things aren't always going to work out the way that you thought they were going to, but they are still going to work out. So you're just going with the flow. All right. You're rerouting, you're finding different routes to reach that end destination. You are staying flexible. The fourth productivity tip that feels like it is the shiny bow on top is a concept called the model. It is a way for us to evaluate our set of circumstances without getting wrapped up in the emotion of it. Right now, you are living in a place where emotions are high, tension is high. You're frustrated with your body because it's not performing the way that it used to. You're frustrated with your system because you're not healing as quickly as you thought you would be healing. You might be struggling mentally and emotionally because the people around you don't totally believe what you're going through, or they're having a hard time supporting you because everything you're dealing with is invisible, or maybe you don't even know what you need, or you're not sure how to communicate what you need. So it's just like a fight. It's tough, and you're gonna have emotions because of this. It's gonna bring emotions up. You're gonna be frustrated. It's gonna be difficult to communicate. It's isolating. It feels lonely, and ultimately, at certain points in time, it can feel really hopeless, which is why I want to share this model with you. And this is really going to be what changes the game for you. So let's say that you're having a symptom flare. Okay, you're having a symptom flare. You're not able to attend the 3 meetings that were on your calendar today. You've had to hand it all off to the team, and you're sitting in your room. You're in your house right now. Maybe alone, maybe the dog's there, maybe your partner's picking up the kids, but the day just went not according to plan, and you're sitting here irritated about it. Okay, Let's ask ourselves what the circumstances are. First and foremost, you are living with some type of health condition that causes you to adapt and have to find different ways to do things. That's your circumstance. All right, what do I think about that? Well, first and foremost, it sucks, but it also is just a fact, and I can't change it. So I could sit here and think how terrible it is, and I could keep spinning and spiraling about it. Or my thought about it could just be, that is what it is, and I don't have to attach a good emotion to it or a bad emotion to it. I can just say, that is the circumstance, and I don't actually have to have some derailing thought about it, but it's making me feel a certain way. Okay, what am I feeling? Ask yourself, what are you actually feeling in this moment that you're having this emotional spiral around the symptom flare you're experiencing? It could be, well, I don't feel valuable because I didn't get to do my job today, and now I'm worried that people are going to fire me. Or I don't feel valuable because I wasn't able to produce what I wanted to produce today, and checking things off my list is how I feel good about myself, and I didn't get to check any of those things off my list today. Or maybe you're feeling like this is going to be the rest of your life, and that's terribly scary and the worst thing that you would never pick for yourself. Whatever feeling you're having right now because of this symptom flare is a result of the circumstance that you are in. And remember, the circumstance is the fact that you cannot change. Then you have a thought about it, and the thought creates your feelings. Okay? So if you jump back up to your thoughts and you're like, it just is. I don't have to feel bad about this. I don't have to feel good about this. It just is. Then we don't have to assign any certain type of feeling to it. But basically, you're working through this explanation to yourself. You're working through this conversation for yourself while you're sitting here trying to rest, while you're sitting here trying not to let your symptoms get even more flared up and terrible and just take you down a road that you've been before, and you know it doesn't lead you anywhere good because you've had this conversation 15,000 times with who knows how many people, and you're still doing it. It hasn't changed. No results have changed. Everything keeps happening. So now you're at the point where you're ready for something different. Once you have been able to identify the circumstance that you're in, recognize that you are having thoughts and feelings about them, the next thing you have to say to yourself is, what can I do about this? What is the action that I can take here that can resolve or change how I'm dealing with this circumstance, right? Your circumstance can't change. The fact that you are living with this and having to overcome this doesn't get to go away. The circumstance stays the same. But what can you do? What can I do in this moment to change my thought, to change my feeling, that will then generate the result that I'm looking for? Now, don't get me wrong. Obviously, I realize the far-fetching best result, most ideal outcome would be to not be dealing with this. Obviously, most ideal result would be that I don't have these symptom flares anymore. Okay, I got you. I'm there with you. I want that for you too. But right now, you do have the symptom flares. So let's ask ourselves again, what can I do about this right now? And as much as you maybe don't want to hear this, and it's often a result, or it's often an answer I have to give myself, is that you got to rest. It's time to close your eyes. It's time to turn off the phone. It's time to turn off the TV, and it's time to lay down and sleep and recover and drink water and get food and do all of the things that you know you're supposed to be doing to take care of yourself. And then as a result of that, you're going to come out of this symptom flare and you're going to be able to pick right back up where you left off because you have everything written down in an organized fashion, and you know how to manage your energy because you've been practicing it every single day, and you're going to be able to keep going as a result of all of this. So the model of working through your own circumstances, the thoughts that you have because of your circumstances, which then generate the feelings, which then generate your actions, which then generate your results, being able to work through that at a time that your symptoms are flaring up or at a time that you are facing a challenge related to your health, applying that model with the other productivity tips are going to help you perform better while living with a chronic illness, while managing chronic symptom flares, and while recovering from a brain injury. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. Please be sure to check out the Evolving Truths podcast, which you can listen to on Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, as well as on my YouTube channel. We're releasing new episodes every Monday on YouTube, and on other platforms, you can catch new episodes on Tuesdays. Last but not least, for all my female entrepreneurs out there, if you are managing a chronic health condition while trying to still reach your career and business goals, and you're looking for additional support to really help you thrive and excel in this new balance of life, please reach out to me at alexisray.com to work one-on-one with me, and we will get you on a road and a path to thriving successfully without your symptoms flaring up. And until next time, please remember, life is beautiful and you create the magic. Have a good one.